The love of my life, Florence Pugh, has been apparently seen doing what appears to be a walk of shame after the BAFTAs. Now, I don't know if that's true at all. In fact, I think it may just be made up, but it gives me an excuse to talk about her. So, today on Where Are They Now, I'm Adam Andrews, and we're talking all about Florence Pugh and where the heck she is now. The English actor, born January 3rd, 1996, first made her acting debut on the screen in 2014, while she was still in sixth form, which is the final 2 years of secondary education for those living in England, Northern Ireland, Wales, Jamaica, Trinidad, and Tobago. For her first professional film debut, Florence played the best friend to Maisie Williams' character in a film called The Falling. The actress was nominated for Best British Newcomer at the BFI London Film Festival, as well as for Young British/Irish Performer of the Year by the London Film Critics Circle. Her next big role came in 2016 when she starred in the film Lady Macbeth, playing the role of Catherine Lester. This film not only awarded her critical acclaim, but after a bad experience being cast for and then leaving a role in a pilot called Studio City, she had begun to lose interest in film acting altogether until Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth was also great for the actress, as she really excels with playing these interesting characters with sometimes unexpected or complicated backstories and or motivations. Being able to show your speciality in your second big outing is an incredible gift. For her time playing the role, she won the BIFA award for Best Performance by an Actress in a British Independent Film. Now moving on to 2018, and Florence garnered a nomination for the BAFTA Rising Star Award at the 71st British Academy Film Awards, which, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Just saying. I don't know. Her next big thing came when she played Cordelia opposite Anthony Hopkins and a whole host of next-level British actors in Amazon Prime's television film adaptation of King Lear, which I haven't actually watched yet, but I think that'll be first up on my list for tonight. Around the same time, she also appeared in the short film titled Leading Lady Parts in support of the Time's Up initiative as herself. The short film is only about 10 minutes long, and you can watch it on YouTube if you want to. Directed by Jessica Swale, the film stars several A-list actresses, including Florence, auditioning for a leading lady role, and in a somewhat comedic tone, it critiques the casting process for women. Later on that year, Pugh played the role of Elizabeth de Burgh in the Netflix historical film Outlaw King alongside Chris Pine. Her role wasn't exactly given much attention, but despite that fact, she unsurprisingly gave in an awesome performance, like she always does. Next up, Florence would star in the 6-part spy miniseries The Little Drummer Girl, based on the novel of the same name. In the show, she plays an actress who becomes embroiled in an espionage plot in the 1970s, and again, although the series itself was a bit of a hit or miss for some, Pugh still brought home the performance, gaining her some recognition. In 2019, though, is when the actress really reached her international breakthrough, starring in 3 big films. The first one came with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's produced dramedy Fighting With My Family, where Pugh plays real-life WWE wrestler Paige, alongside some other big names like obviously The Rock, but also Lena Headey, Nick Frost, and Vince Vaughn. The film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on January 28, 2019, and was theatrically released in the United States on February 14, 2019. It was pretty well received, despite its pretty unique premise, and in particular, the performances of Vince Vaughn and, of course, Florence Pugh were singled out as the best, with critics saying Pugh was, quote, completely convincing as the wrestler, and that she showed, quote, the same defiance, scruffy glamour, and self-deprecating humor as the real-life Paige. The film grossed $41.5 million worldwide. Now, next up in 2019 was Ari Aster's unique horror film, Midsommar, which, if you ask me, is what really put Florence on the map. It follows Florence's character Danny and her boyfriend, who go on a trip to Sweden and encounter a very strange cult. I will not spoil anything, but if you are a fan of horror, I think this is a must-watch. In total, its worldwide gross hit $48 million, and it won Florence the Santa Barbara International Film Festival Virtuoso Award, 3rd place for the Best Actress at the National Society of Film Critics, and saw her nominated for Best Actress at the Gotham Independent Film Awards. Last but certainly not least, in 2019, Pugh starred as Amy March, one of the 4 main sister characters in Little Women, a period drama film adaptation of Louisa May Alcott's novel of the same name, directed by Greta Gerwig. The film was critically acclaimed, probably in large part to its ensemble cast that included Saoirse Ronan, Emma Watson, Florence herself, Eliza Scanlon, Laura Dern, Timothée Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Tracy Letts, Bob Odenkirk, James Norton, Louise Garrel, and Chris Cooper. Pugh herself was nominated for both the BAFTA and Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance, with David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter praising the, quote, disarming grace, humor, and a willful streak that grows almost imperceptibly into wisdom, with which Pugh managed the, quote, tricky contradictions of the part. Gotta love a critic's way of dissecting the hell out of everything to show how good of a writer they are. But he wasn't wrong at all. Following the success of Little Women, Pugh would go on to make her MCU debut in 2021's Black Widow movie. In the film, Florence portrayed Yelena Belova, the sister of Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff, and basically a super spy. Being part of the massive Marvel franchise, the film is basically a big old sign of an actor's popularity, but it also garnered Pugh some specific praise and positive reviews, with some saying that Pugh's character was the most vibrant person in the film, making her stand out from a lot of the other characters in not only Marvel, but most action films in general. Later in the same year, she would reprise the role in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye, and I honestly enjoyed her even more in the show than I did in the movie. She's hilarious, but also Florence is bae, so I am biased. Now, in 2022, Pugh starred in the thriller Don't Worry Darling, where she had a brief touch with a bit of drama with director and fellow actor Olivia Wilde. There were all kinds of different claims of drama surrounding the film. It was almost annoying, honestly, and I think overly picked apart by the internet. The drama specifically surrounding Pugh came in a few different ways. For starters, there was a rumor of a large pay gap between Pugh and her co-star Harry Styles, who was dating Olivia Wilde at the time. People said that Harry was paid 3 times as much as Pugh, despite their parts being pretty equal. These rumors were denied by Wilde in a 2022 interview with Variety when she said, quote, I'm a woman who has been in this business for over 20 years, and it's something that I have fought for myself and others, especially being a director. There's absolutely no validity to those claims. Another conflict between the two was rumored and sort of arbitrarily confirmed about the promotion of the film. In the trailer, the physically intimate scenes seemed to be the central focus of the thriller, and Wilde even told Variety that those scenes were integral to the story. Now, on the other hand, Pugh revealed that she was pretty unhappy with those scenes being the central focus of the trailer. In a 2022 interview with Harper's Bazaar, Florence said, quote, when it's reduced to your sex scenes or to watch the most famous man in the world go down on someone, it's not why we do it. It's not why I'm in the industry. That's just not what I'm going to be discussing because the movie is bigger and better than that. And the people who made it are bigger and better than that. So it's not actually confirmed that the two had a clash about this, just that they had different points of view. People of the internet seem to also question why Florence wasn't using her social media to promote the film that much other than a short clip that she posted to her Instagram. And I mean, no one says she has to. And she is also incredibly busy. According to an August 2022 report by The Wrap, Pugh had no plans to do any press for the film apart from appearing at the Venice Film Festival premiere. And even that was difficult as the actress was filming Dune Part 2 from the Hungary set, flying into Venice, arriving an hour after the press conference had started, and she walked the red carpet and watched the premiere, and then she needed to fly back to the Budapest set to continue filming. Do you understand how damn chaotic that must be? And then, after actually making an Instagram post about the film, every word was picked apart for any sign of drama. Funnily enough, despite all the drama, the actress was actually praised for her performance that seemed to elevate beyond the movie itself. And she also seemed very good at avoiding drama of any kind herself, not really playing into anything with any of her interviews. I've noticed it's something that she seems to be good at in general, which is another reason she is great. Alongside all of that, Florence also starred in an adaptation of Emma Donohue's novel, The Wonder. Florence plays a nurse in 1862 who is sent to investigate an alleged supernatural miracle. Her performance was cited as the standout factor of the film, and she received another BIFA nomination for it. In her final release of 2022, Florence voiced Goldilocks in the DreamWorks animation film Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which earned over $340 million worldwide, and I've only ever seen and heard good things about this film. The memes about it having a higher Rotten Tomato score than Avatar: The Way of Water are absolutely hilarious, so I feel like we need to all watch it. In the future, Pugh will produce and star in Zach Braff's comedy drama film A Good Person alongside Morgan Freeman, which has me excited just for Morgan Freeman, but she's in it too? Wow, sold. She will also be playing Communist Party USA member Jean Tatlock in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer biopic starring Cillian Murphy. And she will also be playing Princess Irulan in Dune Part 2, which I, for one, am pumped for. But speaking of Zach Braff, from 2019 to 2022, Pugh was in a relationship with the American actor and filmmaker after the two met while working on the short film In the Time It Takes to Get There, which Braff directed, and they lived together in Los Angeles for a time. There were rumors she was seeing her Midsummer co-star Will Poulter, but like I said, she handles drama well, and she shut that down pretty quickly. But somewhat on the topic of relationships and speculation, but not really, after the BAFTAs this year, Florence was spotted heading back to her hotel room at 8:45 in the morning after going to the BAFTA after party at the Chill Turn Firehouse. She was still dressed up in her silver and baby pink sequin dress, and she was still rocking her massive high-heel platforms, which is just impressive, honestly. Was this a walk of shame? I don't know. Do you know? Do any of us really know? Or does it just make a good title for an excuse to talk about Florence Pugh? I'm saying the latter because I don't care about her walk of shame. But that's a brief recap of Florence Pugh. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I've been your host, Adam Andrews. This is Where Are They Now? Someone give Florence Pugh my number, and I'll catch you all on the flippy flop. Peace out.